Whether you're a seasoned gamer or new to the scene, you've probably noticed the trend of beloved games making a comeback. From nostalgic classics getting a modern day facelift to hidden gems getting a second chance at glory. Re-releases have become very common in the industry and are usually a safe bet for a company if they know the original game performed well and it could benefit from some quality of life improvements and they can profit off the nostalgia. Now, a re-release can definitely scratch that itch when you get a hankering to play your favorite game, but in my opinion, nothing beats the feeling of playing the original version of the game. That is why I purchased this. It's called an Analogue Pocket and it allows you to play your favorite handheld cartridge games from the 2000s and prior on a modern day console with modern day features. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. At the time of writing the script, we ended up hitting 20,000 subscribers that morning, and I just am so grateful to you all for being interested in showing some love towards the content I'm making. I really appreciate it overall, and just the fact that you guys are engaging with the content and enjoying it overall really does make me appreciative. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to click that button down below. Right now, we're trying to make our way over to monetizing the channel. I think we have over 800 watch hours and you need 4,000 within a year. So any help would be greatly appreciated. The Analogue Pocket was created by the company Analogue, which has a history of making hardware emulated products. This is different than software emulation. In simple terms, hardware emulation basically emulates the entire system or entire device, whereas software emulation usually runs on something that isn't made for that specific purpose. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's basically the gist. When the Pocket was announced back in October 2019, it had so many gamers excited due to the fact that there hasn't been many hardware emulation products that promised as much as they planned on delivering. Unfortunately, due to a small little global issue that popped up around 2019, the Pocket wouldn't see its launch until December of 2021. And even today, you still have to wait months after you place an order to be able to actually receive one. But let's say you wanted to place an order. What's so special about the Analogue Pocket that would make you want to purchase it over using an old Game Boy or a modded one? Well, off the bat, I will say this product does seem to be very niche, selling for $220 on Analogue's website. It's probably meant for people who are big into retro games. I can't believe I'm calling these things retro games at this point. The Analogue Pocket sets itself apart from any of the modded Game Boys you see online with a slew of features not available on modified devices. On first impression, you will notice the shape is very similar to that of a Game Boy Color, but slightly bigger. It features the expected D-pad, face button, start and select as well, but it also sports two shoulder buttons by the cartridge slot in order to play a variety of other handhelds, including Game Boy Advance games. That's not all though. Unlike an original Game Boy, instead of a volume wheel, we now have normal volume up and down buttons, a power button instead of a switch that will let you put the Pocket into a sleep mode and let you pick back up from where you left off, and a dedicated analog button that lets you access options, save states, and much more. That's not all though. The Pocket has a rechargeable battery that charges up via USB-C and also has link cable support, letting you do things like trade Pokemon with another Pocket or an original Game Boy. Not to mention, if you're interested in making music, you can also use the built-in nano loop tool on the device. Now for my favorite thing about this guy, and that is the screen. This is where I fell in love with the product. This thing puts any modded Game Boy to shame between the size, the brightness, and the resolution. Oh boy, it's just next level. The screen is 3.5 by 5.8 inches and displays 1440 by 1600p. That is 10 times the resolution of an original Game Boy, and you can definitely tell. I think the cool part about the screen though is that if you aren't crazy about the ultra sharp look or the colors displayed, you can actually switch between different display modes that match more of a Game Boy or Game Boy Color look. In my opinion, I love the default look of the screen, but it's awesome to see that they're trying to give options to all types of gamers. I wasn't able to find an official listing of how bright the screen can get, but trust me, you are not going to have any issues with seeing the game you are playing in direct sunlight. It's just so good. It kind of breathes in new life to the graphics, and in some cases I've noticed details I've never picked up before. Lastly, we have compatibility and use cases, and out of the box, the Pocket can play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, but you can pick up adapters for Game Gear, TurboGrafx, Neo Geo Pocket, and Atari Lynx for $29.99 a pop. And if that's not enough for you and you want to play your favorite games on your television screen, you can purchase an analog dock for an additional $99.99. I ordered mine several months ago, but it still hasn't shipped because things are so backed up. Now, I know what you're thinking, and yes, it's a lot of money, but mind you that a lot of people won't need all the adapters or even want the dock, and they aren't required to get it to get the most out of the Pocket. Pocket. I think anybody who appreciates the older games that they grew up playing would absolutely be content just getting the Pocket itself. Overall, the Analogue Pocket does so much to enhance your experience when playing your favorite handheld games. The screen quality, the updated features, it all adds up to a great experience that makes it a little tougher to get back to my original Game Boy. But what do you guys think? Would you pick up one of these bad boys? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to slam that subscribe button so I know that you're enjoying these videos, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.